Hey guys, it is.
Hey guys, it's Nod.
Hey, it's Robyn.
Hi guys, it's Beat.
And today we're here with season 3, episode 9 of Legacies discussion. A lot has happened this episode, and we're ready to talk about it. So let's
The
get
title
into it.
is Do All Malivore Monsters Provide This Level of Insight? Emotional insight? Is that what it is?
And I was right about who said it because
I knew it was,
guessed Cleo.
I thought it was going to be Cleo too. It sounded like a total Cleo line because like she doesn't know Malivore monsters. So, okay. Let's talk about the fact at the beginning that
I knew it.
like Vit P and I totally called it being the wish box that they were looking for at the beginning with the Germans.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting Clark to be there.
I know, what was he doing? I was like, what the fuck?
I thought he was gonna come out this whole episode. I was like, yo, where's Clark? Like, why is he here?
Okay, but if they introduced him,
He's the phone
him,
person.
yeah, okay, so that's the theory. Okay, but guys, didn't I say when we first watched that episode, did I not say that it's possible it could be Clark?
I feel like it's Clark. It has to be. But Landon with the necklace.
Yeah, but it's possible that like maybe he erased Landon's memories and took the necklace. Like if he has all of those monsters things and he knows the monsters and he knows how to manipulate things because he's done that before, he must know a way for him to be manipulated in, for another way. But like, okay. So I was really not expecting to see him, and seeing him really just like shifted the balance in theories. Like, because we didn't, like, I did say Clark, but we were just like, it wasn't like anything serious. It was just kind of like, oh, it could be Clark. But I did say before season 3 came out, I think in a podcast like a long time ago, they could bring Clark back, but have him be in another body. So like introducing Clark at the beginning of this episode means that Nick Fink could still not be back, but he could be in a different body.
I feel like that scene definitely kind of clarified to me that it's probably him, because it's no reason for him to be there for 2 seconds.
That's what like, why
significance to it?
Why bring him back for like 2 seconds? And especially if he's looking for the wish box. And that was Albert Einstein.
That's what I thought. I'm assuming it was him, but I didn't want to sound dumb. So I was like,
well, he had the hair and all of that. Yeah. And so that was Albert Einstein. So Albert Einstein had the wish box. And then, okay, we'll talk about the end of it, like as far as like when they discussed who else had the wish box and stuff. But we'll try to like, I don't know, I guess keep a timeline. So then we go to the 4 people sitting in a class, like Alaric's trying to teach them something?
I said we haven't seen no teacher or none of them in class, and then conveniently that's when they're in class. When it's like,
Landon being so lost, it was so funny.
And
it's like, where are all the students?
Yeah. Landon is such a baby. Landon's just like looking around. But like, okay, Alaric used to be a teacher. You mean he lost how to be a teacher in all of those years?
Yeah. Because
he was a college professor. How could he suck so bad? But like Landon being like, I miss all of the good monsters, and just okay. This episode was Landon's episode. I don't fucking care. It was Landon's episode because he is the purest fucking baby in the entire world. And like this episode was basically like Brett just saying like, Landon haters, here you go.
Yeah.
Try to hate him after this.
Landon was just so doing what
he was perfect. He was perfect this episode.
He was so amazing this episode. Yeah.
Landon was the whole reason why they figured it out. But like, okay, so Lizzie's whole like conversation with Caleb and like saying that Caleb's her bestie now because she was having a fight with Hope. I mean, you're so over the top, Lizzie. It's like as your new bestie, but Caleb called her out on her nerdiness because he was like, shut up, you know who that is.
I was like,
She did.
And okay, and bringing in Constantine, which is like supernatural. Also, he did a crossover on Lucifer. Like, come on. I mean, you know.
The things you pick up on, because I got none of that shit.
Well, it's just like because they had the what did they have? They had MG reading the Legends of Tomorrow. No, the Crisis. What was that comic he was reading that in one of the episodes when Lizzie came to him? It was like what 213 or something like that. So then John Constantine is also a part of that whole like crossover. And then they also did a crossover like Supernatural or like what the Crisis of Infinity Earth or whatever did the crossover with Lucifer as well. So like it's just really cool that they're kind of like bringing that into the whole fold, like making this world like so much bigger and like broader, which is, I don't know, the nerd in me was just like, you know, giddy like Landon.
I didn't even know this until like later on.
But like them wanting to summon a fairy and then arguing about it being like a cherub and saying that Cupid wasn't cute, and then Landon's whole like
He actually wasn't Cupid? I was like, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but like he did that the whole episode. Like he was actually like corrected Alaric and then he corrected Caleb and like I just I want to imagine Cleo standing there just going like, really?
The amount of time they looked at Landon when he was saying something was hilarious to me. So, you know, my son was doing a lot of things. I'm proud.
I know, and like the him and Hope scenes were so fucking cute. Like
Literally.
Them in class, like when he put his hand on her seat, like button.
Yeah. And then just like them sitting next to each other, and then like when they were in the library and he was like, oh, I'm sensing some tension. And I was thinking, no, you're not going to put tension between the two of them already. But it wasn't their tension that he was sensing. It was her and Lizzie.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't his. I knew it wasn't theirs because he just got there.
And then like, oh my God, we have Brett delivered so many quotes for us today. We have this whole episode is just littered with Handon quotes. And I just like, I need to find every single one of them. I need to watch it again and again and just write them all down. But like him saying that he was always on her side and them just being really fucking cute. And
Oh my God.
We got the scene at the end with her laying on his chest.
We're not even there. Okay, we're not even there
Sorry.
yet. We're not even there yet. Okay. But the cards, when he was like, okay, no, that's before that's after the little pink guy. It's like, okay, so Gumball made his appearance. Okay. And I am still Gumball Protection Squad because he made Landon shine this episode. He made Landon shine, and I cannot hate Gumball for that.
I mean, he did give me my hazy content as he should, but he could still go to fuck under.
He's a mouthy little brat, wasn't he?
He called him dumb. I said, do it again. Thanks.
But
Because screw y'all.
both Landon and Lizzie being like, Lizzie was like, I don't care, I want one. I'm just like, me, Lizzie, me.
You was over here gushing. I was like, can't relate. Like,
and then him kicking Lizzie into the pool. Oh, but that was okay. What about him making Lizzie's voice and then saying that like
and then her eyes flickered. I said,
yeah.
y'all deciding to use the eye effect more.
He was mad, and then Landon was just kind of like, shit.
He was over like,
but he knew he couldn't stop her. Like he knows that he can't stop her in that, and he's just like, oh my God, okay, what's gonna happen?
He was like, death. I said, might be, just might. Just might.
But like the strife that it was causing between, like, Lizzie was saying some pretty harsh things.
Oh, she made me mad this episode. Not like she's okay. Like the ending made up for it, but like she said some messed up shit,
and
she really did.
And that's like her brutal honesty, like Hope had said, like at the end. But like that was some, like, okay, first off, Hope saying that, I mean, true, Hope saying that she's saved their lives countless times. But when Lizzie said that Hope only goes to them when she needs something, that's not true. Because half the time, Hope ends up giving up what she wants in order to save everyone else. So where is Lizzie twisting that?
The one time she decided to get what she wanted or fight for what she wanted, which was Landon.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was wild this episode. Everybody was wild. Every character was out here doing a lot of stuff. So to be honest, I'm not surprised. I'm just shocked that in that scene specifically, the little living room, I mean the area was full as fuck to me. It was looking, I was like, where these kids come from? I forgot that that's where all the kids is. I was like, oh shit. We got more students? No, it was the same kid.
Because were they having a super squad meeting at the beginning then?
I don't know. Because
maybe
could be. But like I wonder how the hell did all those kids just decide to chill in the library when it was a speech? Or when it was when Lizzie and them was having their conversation.
And there was literally no one else in the school other than Hope and Lizzie who were having complications? Like, was no one else in the school fighting? And there's that many kids in the school, you would think that there's some sort of like,
right, like it's like 10 more. I mean, whatever it was, 18, 22, whatever. It's more kids there. You mean tell me all of them were just kumbaya? Impossible. And like
yeah,
like they were all just chilling and shit in the little library. I'm just like, so no one has beef.
No one saw the little pink creature running around?
No, this could just have gang as a student. We be new. The other students are always vibing somehow.
Right, they listen. They don't give a shit. Listen, Malivore is a fucking danger to the school, and they just chilling and shit, reading books.
They're all dipping into that garden.
They said it's like get that truth weed,
or some sort of like relaxant or something.
Right,
they have no cares whatsoever.
I was like, Iman just chilling, like no words.
I know she her reaction like
she's like, I said, oh, tea. I was like, damn, everybody heard.
But yet no one sees this little pink monster running around laughing and swearing at people. Like, I mean, and then, well, maybe what it is that like they notice that Hope and Lizzie are fighting, and when Hope and Lizzie fights, it's just like, you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna stay out of it.
They're two powerful witches. The least they're gonna listen. The kids gonna have to analyze from a distance because no less thing you want. But listen, Lizzie was petty with that damn no tri-bread allowed. I
literally laughed out loud. I was like, oh my god.
That gave me.
Landon was like, what is that?
He's like,
what do you think it is, Landon?
I'm like, yeah, Landon, what do you think that means? Who the fuck else is a tri-bread in this class? like it ain't that hard, Landon. Come on. He came back and chose Clueless.
He was just so like he was so Landon this episode.
He was.
It was well, I'll mention later on, but it was one quote that Hope said that got me like looking side-eyeing. I'll get there.
Okay. Then when Landon figured out it was a gremlin, because they were like, oh, what kind of thing molts like this? And I made a joke earlier on the CW Legacies page about why they were looking in the well, and I said because they got water on the gremlin. And Landon literally like started talking about that with like he was freaking out over the movie and talking about getting water on them and stuff like that. Like
I just cannot believe that we sat here and watched this. Listen, Landon was having a fangirl moment over this fucking gremlin, and everybody else was just trying to find him. The whole word, and then Landon's like, yeah, you know, I know about this. He's like, y'all need to dust on y'all knowing skills. I said, damn, not that shade. No, he said, y'all didn't know? I said, yeah, clearly not. Kaylee had to read it from a book. You know, let my son help. It is what it is.
He was totally nerding out this episode. I loved it. I was totally nerding out this episode. I think we kind of went into this episode thinking it was just going to be like a filler, and it actually turned out to be such an amazing episode.
It was such a good episode.
Yeah, it was definitely better than what I expected. I expected leprechauns.
I did not expect this episode to be as good it was character-wise. What made the episode so amazing was not only Landon, but Hope and Lizzie, like their relationship. Yes, it was angst, but like I love their dynamics so much. No matter what it is, it's like they go off. Like I said, Danielle and Jenny, they bounce off each other so perfectly well, and it's like it makes it so enjoyable to watch.
And having Hope and Lizzie as like best friends, even when friends fight like that, like they're just so. I really do love.
I love the line. I love the line where she was like, to Cleo, where she was like, you have no idea our history or whatever, how far back, whatever she said. I was like, you really see it in that scene, because it's like, this is how they are.
Yeah.
Like they're friends, but this is how they go back and forth, because it's the only way they know how to communicate. But it works for them. So
it reminded me of season 1. And when he talked later on and talked about what they liked about each other as compliments, it was just feeding my soul.
So cute. I love their friendship.
Like season 1, like Lizzie did not like her. Like imagining episode 10 where she wished that Hope never existed, to now see her as a.
And a lot of that was based on a lie, and just the fact that they could, get over that.
Yeah.
And work through that, So
in the end, both understood. Like Lizzie understood that what Hope did she would do for Josie.
Yeah.
And Hope understood that it was wrong for her to push Josie. So yeah.
And Landon even pointing that out, like Landon being, what if I was in Josie's place? And Hope just being like, okay, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
The voice of reason episode.
It's just proof. Yeah, it's just proof. Obviously, it's proof Landon knows how important he is to Hope. And it just reiterates with the viewers that Landon is the most important thing to Hope. And they do have that discussion, but we can go into that after a little bit. But and then it just proves again that the blind spot of Lizzie is Josie, and that she's just as important to Lizzie as Landon is to Hope. I really like that.
Said that. Lizzie even said that. She said that, she said it at some point in this episode where she was basically like, I don't remember what, did she say this? Am I just making this shit up? No, maybe. She definitely said it. Where she was like, Josie's just as important to me as.
Yeah. She did say that. Caleb. As Landon is to you.
Yeah. Oh. No, she said it to Caleb.
Oh, she said it to Caleb. It was something like.
I don't remember, but she said something along the lines of that.
Yeah. No, I think I remember something like that. But the character growth for everyone in this episode, I think was really, really good. For everyone. Because everyone kind of had a moment where they took a step forward from where they were, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Handon stuff in the whole episode was just adorable. It's served. Brett.
Especially when Liz on Twitter was like, "What if we get no scenes this episode?" And I was like, "Bet we might just not." And we got scenes continuously throughout.
Well, because the last episode 9 in 209, Hope and Landon were back together, and we got a 2-second hug, and that was it. Nothing. We got no communication, no nothing. And so I think that we were all just worried that today's episode was, first of all, it was going to be a filler episode.
Yeah.
And then that there just wasn't going to be any development as far as Handon it goes and stuff like that. And I mean, this is literally the next day after he got back, and Hope wasn't being as protective. She was still being protective, but she wasn't being as protective.
She loosened up because he said, this might be further ahead. And he was like, yeah, you can go get the gremlin. I'll just sit here, be with other students. And she didn't say nothing. She was like, okay. Yeah,
you can really see since 304, since they got back together in 303, they've really been communicating a lot more. And Hope has really been kind of allowing him to be a little bit more free, because that fight on the dock really showed her. I actually think now, when the fight happened, I wasn't a super fan of it. But looking back at it now, and him saying like that's not really living hope, and her changing after that because she realized that, you can really see the development in these next few episodes now. Even though Landon's only been back for a day, she's still been very like letting him kind of like figure things out and like be a part of the squad and not be like something that she has to protect. And like they do touch on that again at the end of the episode, which is beautiful, because that's what a lot of people have been saying. There's been a lot of like, you know, comments on Twitter and stuff like that. And I honestly think that Brett's like writing these episodes or like having these episodes as like answers to questions that have been kind of like bombarded on him since season 2.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like he's fixing what season 2 did, because season 2 lacked a lot of communication between Landon and Hope, and like the back and forth between they're on the same page, no they're not, they're on the same page, no they're not, and now like her realizing like the drastic decision she made to get to him, like her just saying, okay, well he just like I can't keep suffocating him, like in like season 2 episode, what was it, episode 10? When he was trying to learn how to fight to like so they can be like seen as equals, like this is kind of overcoming that situation. So I was shocked that she even let him stay at school. I was actually shocked. I was like, damn, she ain't gonna tell him to like watch out, protect himself. She just said, okay, stay at the school.
Yeah, and you know what's nice is that she's actually like, they're trusting Landon more, because people have been, and by people I mean like people in the fandom, have been doubting him a lot and his worth. And today's episode was basically a
Landon.
a Landon episode saying like, look, he's actually worth a lot more than you guys think he is, and he's actually important. And not only is he important, but Hope actually really does love him, and they have this beautiful, amazing love. And I think you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah. They proved so many things this episode. Like
this episode was a feast.
It was a feast. You had soft couple, you have cute couple, and have Landon being a supportive boyfriend.
Anakin's?
Exactly.
It's amazing. Before tomorrow happens.
Okay, so the monster taking Cleo.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we could talk about MG and at the school, or no?
Yeah, we can talk about that, but we can talk about the monster
before. That's what I was just saying. Okay, never mind.
Okay, well, let's talk about MG at the school. MG and Josie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I already predicted or assumed that MG would come to the school. I just didn't know that he would be out here trying to finesse a new lady that fast. I was like, damn, okay. And I feel like I knew it was going to be more. I knew like Joey was going to definitely try to have him like talk to him about it, because he was like, listen, it was only been his first day, and he did do supernatural things. So like Josie just want to have a normal life. She just want to be human, and I knew for a fact she's going to tell like MG to like cool it down, but that's not the case. And I definitely knew that Ethan and MG want to be like friends down the line, because from the synopsis of next week or whatever those episodes synopsis were, when they said they're going to work together. So I was like, okay, well, they're definitely going to be friends. But I'm actually excited to see his storyline. I thought that we were going to get more from him, like more about his backstory, because what happened later on in this episode, but robbery, once again.
Yeah. I kind of thought that Alaric was going to go to MG and ask him to spy, but he didn't have anything to do with MG going. I mean, we assumed MG was going to go to Mystic. But, I mean, it makes sense that they put Dorian in that position so that Rick had someone to go to at the school. And then having Dorian there, seeing as how he's like, their researcher. So, I mean, I didn't even clue in when they brought Dorian back that was what they were. I didn't even think about Dorian researching the wish box.
Yeah,
I thought that he was like keep his distance from supernatural, but clearly not. Alaric is still here, bringing him shit on the desk in school in 4K.
I'm kind of sad that Finch wasn't in the episode though.
Yeah.
Me too. Like, what happened? She's
Like,
gonna
Jed was
obviously be
missing
in
too.
next week.
Yeah, she's gonna be in next week because they mentioned her, right?
Jed
Yeah.
was missing too.
I don't know why
Yeah.
she wasn't there though. Like, we got to see some random ass dude who was insulting Ethan, but not
Finch.
Finch. Like, what?
But maybe she just had like a family, not a family issue, but like maybe she had to work, or maybe like there could be like a lot of reasons, but or she's avoiding Josie right now just because of everything that happened, or Josie's avoiding her because that could be possible too.
Could be because didn't Josie she missed the thing with Finch, right? Due to
Well, because she was supposed to have that makeup date and then she went off with Hope because she thought that Lizzie had wanted her help because Hope had lied and said that Lizzie was.
Yeah, Finch probably heated right now, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what, Finch? Listen, Josie already told you he has a life.
I mean, it's hard, the supernatural and then trying to like mix that with the human stuff. I mean, obviously that's what they were trying to do, and then look how that went with Ethan. But like,
I wonder that since he knows, is Josie going to say anything about what happened? Because
he knows now.
She might.
Oh, now because she tells him something.
It has to be because
so she could make amends. That's how she can make amends for one of her actions. Is she apologizes to Ethan.
You think he's gonna be mad at her now?
Oh, he'll probably be mad at her, but like,
I feel like he might forgive her though, because you saw how hypey he was about supernatural.
He seems like okay. And him being a closet comic book nerd, who saw that coming?
Yeah.
I mean, but I was like, how would Helmet MG even combine well? So it had to make sense.
Okay, but MG and Ethan are like cute.
They're cute.
I love their friendship. It's like it makes sense. Like it really does.
Yeah, it makes
I didn't think it would, but
it makes sense. Like I feel like with MG and Caleb, they're more of a brother bond.
Yeah.
A friendship bond. So like MG obviously need to branch off.
MG can be boyfriends.
Yeah. Okay. Were you guys feeling that too? Like that energy between Ethan and MG, like especially for Ethan?
I said I was like, I couldn't get Jed or Ralph. I couldn't get Jed and Caleb. Not gonna be friends if y'all want, but I mean, I don't know what I want to do, but like
Ethan and MG were cute. I mean, Ethan was giving off those like. He was
like, don't erase the moment we met. Like, okay.
He said, "Don't."
Yeah.
They
say, please, just don't erase the moment we met. Like, okay.
You're my friend. I said, y'all, you talk like 5 minutes. Well, 6 hours, maybe some hours, but like.
And then they were still together at the end.
They were playing football. Don't get me hyped, cause I know we're not.
Exactly. Don't get hyped.
Don't get me hyped, cause I was acting up.
I want to get hype over this. I'm sorry.
Like, cause I've been wanting Jed and Ralph for years, since season 1, and I never got them. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe Jed and Caleb. Never got them.
Caleb's and Cleo, but yeah.
Where's my? Please. So, Ethan.
MG, yeah.
They good. I'm gonna have to watch some scenes tonight because it was like the eyes, the scenery.
And we did question why they would bring Ethan in as a regular, and that would make sense. What was that?
Now it makes sense why he's here.
Yeah, exactly. That could make a lot of sense why he's a regular because of this relationship.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it's needed. Like, I feel like MG has a personality outside of being a supernatural.
Yeah.
And maybe that he's getting a human friend, somebody that he can fangirl with about comics, because Caleb don't know that much about it. And with him and Lizzie like kind of separating right now, he needs someone. Just like how.
And then MG's he's not really like super friends with Landon because like I think MG still feels guilty about, killing Landon in the first place. And so there was always that kind of like hanging over their heads, right?
Yeah.
Even though Landon, forgave him and everything like that. But
I just feel like it's needed. I feel like this whole season is doing good at having people head to where they need to be in development, because people, if they stayed in the same, like they stayed in the same school last season, and no one developed except for Lizzie. And this season, we're seeing MG, we're seeing Josie, we're seeing Landon, we're seeing Lizzie even more. We're seeing Hope and Caleb and all of them developing in different ways.
But like everyone's having a storyline.
Everyone has a storyline, and even though it's monster centered, it's still not in season one. Like I didn't have a problem with monsters in season one because they were there, but they weren't carrying the plot.
It was a good storyline in season one, yeah.
Season two, the monsters that kept appearing were only for the plot. One of the monsters to help, Hope tell the secret. The one about the dam for Lizzie, like for Hizzy and episode 5 to come together. Like it was like every monster was thriving for some type of storyline for an episode, opposed to season 3, they're fixing these mistakes. And this monster didn't really do anything except for just annoy me, but even then he didn't, because once again,
this monster made Landon shine.
Exactly. And gave us some stronger Hizzy, And then even better, well, I mean, I feel like we're getting ahead of time. It doesn't even care. We're getting Handon and Lizzie hanging out, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay, we can go into that. Okay. Let's go into what was I saying before? I see you said Handon and I fucking lost everything else. Okay. The monster taking Cleo.
Yeah, I
was expecting that.
I was like, maybe it has something to do with Clark, because she maybe can return him to human form. But that before I was like thinking, like, I think Clark is already there. But I think that since she can summon monsters, that may be the reason why he wants her there. Maybe she can summon the monsters out of the prison world. Maybe that's why he wants her to be there, because she got her summoning some serious shit. So
what if she is a monster from the prison world?
I'm hoping she's not, though. I do think that he may pick her, or Malivore may pick her, because she can summon.
Because Puck said not all monsters are bad, or like they had that whole thing with Puck and MG where it was like not all monsters are bad, and we thought possibly he was talking about Alyssa. But what if that was foreshadowed to later on?
Robyn always leaves us speechless.
But like, there is something about Cleo. There's obviously something about Cleo. And the fact that she has the ability to summon monsters.
Without Eve. But still, like, what would she be? Like,
I don't know, but like the fact that he took her, and then, okay, he was like this little teeny tiny thing at that time, and he kidnapped her and wrapped her up, and she's a powerful witch. Like, how?
I don't know how the fuck that little dude got
her. He grew when she said some what did the word she use? Uncolorful words or something she said.
But that was like after, like he was in the soldier outfit, and maybe I don't know how he could reach some arms.
Maybe she willingly went.
I don't know, because he wrapped her up and all that. Like, I don't think she would curse him out while she's willingly wanting to go.
Yeah, like it just, like, how, I don't know. I mean, he must have had other powers or something, because
like he must have. What he wanted. So maybe he wanted to becoming taller, because his eyes could see he could see outside the shield. So maybe he became tall, but he didn't become fat.
And we know he can impersonate voices, so what if he like impersonated Caleb?
And maybe be like, hey, this
what are you thinking is?
We are predicting his damn monster's abilities.
Your eyes, what are you thinking? Your eyes just went really wide and you were just like...
No, because when you talk, I get confused.
I don't know how Robyn pick up so many stuff during episodes. That's just freaking out the most
It
of the
makes
time.
no sense to me. And she says this shit to me, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Big fool.
Okay.
Even when we're messaging, I'm like, let me read that over again. I'm gonna like it. So she thinks I understand what's going on, but I really don't.
Yeah, I feel like he probably molted and got taller, but didn't get thicker until she started to curse him out. That's the only logical thing.
It has to be. It has to be because that was the only way that, but
Because
If you think about it, because Lizzie and Hope are still going at it when he had Cleo too. So
true.
I don't know if he has to be like near them when they're arguing, but like Lizzie and Hope are definitely going at it.
Even still when they were walking towards the well, like when they were following the
Yep.
like,
yep.
And she was like talking about stepping in manure and stuff like that. Even though like Landon figuring it out. If Landon was not there, they wouldn't have figured that out.
I think nobody would have like figured out their problems. So
yeah, and like him figuring it out. Okay, and then him rolling up in Lizzie's car.
Yo, I thought that was a lyric who was in the car. I'm like, damn.
I thought it was Alaric too.
I was like,
Alaric too.
Whip.
And the way that he
I was like,
iconic. Was iconic.
And then Lizzie commenting about him scratching the car and him like handing her the keys and like
my paint. I'm like, damn, how much you paint the car?
And then talking about them having to respect each other because he figured it out. Like, I just
he was only left alone for like 5 minutes. And he was able to figure out so much within that time.
He really did. He figured out, okay, he sensed Hope having issues at the beginning with her and Lizzie, and even said, like, you have to make up with her or whatever, or you should make up with her. And then he figured out why the monster was there and feeding on their disrespect, and then figured out how to defeat the monster about respecting each other. And like the Hizzy compliment session.
I almost cried. I'm not gonna lie.
That was so cute.
Oh, it was so good.
I love their friendship so much. It's like the perfect friendship. Like Landon's right. They have a lot more in common than they think they do.
And we heard it.
Yeah.
Like we all we say it to ourselves, but we heard it. And it was the icing on the cake. And then Liz's like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have to be more, maybe we can do this. It's like, yeah, you got a good name, taste and style. And I'm like, I love them. More scenes.
Yeah, the Hizzy stuff is just beautiful. Like, and then
it's so amazing.
Lizzie being like, "You need to teach me your icy glare."
I laughed. I was like, "Oh my god!"
I was like,
It's all Danielle. It's all Danielle. I love it.
It is, and yeah, that whole thing, and then like Cleo just like when they couldn't respect each other, and Cleo's just like rolling her eyes at them.
Cleo is
this episode was funny.
Cleo was always confused. She's like, Malivore? And she's like, history? Like, she's always lost. They need to fill her in.
When Caleb grabbed her hand and she pulled away.
No, I was like, I felt that burn.
When she was like, ask me later, whatever she said.
The fact that she held her hand.
The flavor.
Yeah, they're so cute. They're just, the two of them are so cute. And I loved the fact that they had Cleo, Lizzie, and Hope all doing the trio thing and holding hands and fighting.
This super squad of today was amazing.
Yes.
Like,
oh yeah,
I stand.
We had no choice but to stay.
Yeah, it's one of the best formations of super squad.
Yeah, it really is. Like, that was just, I just loved that, the three of them together. That was just beautiful, and like real friendships there, and then Landon and Caleb just kind of like standing off to the side and just just proud of their girls, you know.
I'm not
Yeah.
season 1, like when Lizzie, Josie, and Hope went to get that spider, and they came out afterwards. It was giving me that much. It was giving me those type of scenes. Love to see it. So does that mean that Land's a part of the Super Squad? You know?
Yeah, no, it's just
Yes,
I have so many good things to say about this episode. Okay, let's get into Hope and Landon snuggling in bed.
Oh my god.
I literally
Robyn,
screamed.
were you and I talking about this? We said, I was like, it's gonna open with them in bed, and then you were like, or it's gonna end with them in bed.
Yeah.
And it was literally like
Right towards the end.
213. 213 after Landon flew, they were in bed and they were talking, and then she went over and laid on his chest. You guys remember that? And she like fell asleep, and she's like,
Yes.
tell me what it felt like. And he was just describing like how flying felt like. It literally gave me off that vibe. Like, oh, I love him so much.
I screamed at that scene. I was like, yes, we're getting a bed scene. Because I was just like waiting for it, because they were so cute throughout the whole episode, just like the little smiles and glances and the quotes and everything they were giving to each other. And then they had that scene, and then Hope automatically knowing that Landon had like a butt in there, and she was just like, what's on your mind? And then actually communicating and talking. Like,
yeah, that was everything.
Oh, and then like Landon saying like,
there's enough of you to go. There's enough Hope Michelson to go around.
And just like, you will always have me, so you have more room in your life for other people.
Yeah.
And her just being like, you're my everything, and he's like I just.
She said, "You're everything."
And then she was like, I don't remember you being this perfect.
Right. I was like, when she said that, I said,
oh my god.
Okay. And when they kissed, the lyrics to the song were specifically, "This is what it's like to fall in love," as they were kissing.
Yeah.
I fucking died.
What do you guys
I
listen
died.
to the music?
Okay, Tiff's already saying that she's making an edit to that song.
how do
So
how do you hear that? I watch.
No, but my favorite line was probably the when he said, there's enough Hope Michelson to go around, because it's like at this point, Hope has Landon. She's always gonna have Landon, but she needs other people too. She needs her friends, and while she's gonna, she focuses a lot on her relationship with Landon, which obviously it's what she should do. But her friendship with Lizzie and the stuff that happened in this episode shows, and Cleo, she has this perfect dynamic with other characters too, and I'm so excited to see. And Danielle teased it. Like Danielle, a while ago, she responded to one of my tweets, and she was like, she's excited for this relationship with one of the other a new character, and it ended up being Cleo.
But like,
so it's excited about it.
It's understandable of Hope not wanting to stay away from Landon because she lost him so many times. But I also love to see that he's making her see that he's gonna be there for her always, so she can go and be away from him a little and just enjoy her times with her friends.
Like Landon pointing that out and just saying, look, I know you love me and I know what you would do for me, and basically him saying like he would do it for her too, but like there's more to life than just me.
The two of us, yeah.
And like the fact that he, like, God, he's just so, they're just so.
That's how he cares so much about her. Like,
yes,
he just loved her so much. He was the best for her always.
Landon is a great guy. Like and I will continue to say this. That's why him and Hope work so well together as a couple, is because they're different in a way. You know what I mean? They bounce off each other that way, where it's like, Hope is kind of this person who sees one thing and one thing only, and she wants to finish that one thing. But while Landon has an open mind about a lot of stuff, and he's like, you need to think about it this way, you need to think about it that way, and Hope really needs that kind of person in her life. someone that she listens to, obviously. So, and she obviously listens to him.
And Landon opened her up, like at the beginning, because remember, she locked herself in her room for 2 years or whatever. She didn't have friends. She didn't talk to anyone. And Landon coming to the school really opened her up. And him being there back, this is like a parallel to the first season where he came and he opened her up to all these different friendships. And this is basically him doing that again, saying, look,
Yeah.
you can have me, but you can have other people too. And like, he's like, just the fact that he noticed that and is so concerned and caring for her health and her mental health and her love and all of that, like it just really shows how pure he is.
If you think about it, it's really, it brings it back to season 1 where he opened her up, because he's kind of like seeing her close herself off from everybody but him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want that to happen. So he's like, which brings back to the line where he said there's enough Hope Michelson to go around. And he was just, Landon shined this episode. He did amazing this episode. I love him every episode, but today was just
his episode truly. And it definitely showed, because we already knew that episode 4 was the strong episode, but for him to come back and for him not to change how she already was with him, yeah, I want major content to that.
Yeah, he's just I remember Vit, you tweeted a long time ago where you had wanted like an episode for Landon. And I honestly feel like this was an episode for Landon. It wasn't his episode, but it was his episode in a sense,
Yeah, I get it.
And it was just like honestly, like every Brett Matthews episode has hit this season. Like it's just been so good.
His season goes so good.
Oh, like honestly, like Brett, if you're listening, it was a great episode. Okay, so let's go to, we could keep talking about Handon because, I would gush constantly. But the talk with Alaric and Josie.
I actually really love that scene. And can we talk about, okay, we could talk about the talk first, but something else about that scene too.
The scene was emotional, like I was tearing a little bit. I was just in the back of my head saying something would happen to him because we never got really good speak from her ever in a while. And I'm just like, he about to die.
See, that's what I think too, is like this like they're almost like closing up his storyline because I think that they are going to kill him off, and like this like closure that he's kind of giving to Josie, and then like just it feels like he kind of needs to do that with Lizzie too, but like right now he's doing it with Josie. But okay, anyone else have anything to say about their talk, or
oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Iz.
I'm pretty sure everybody called it, but I knew she was staying with Elena and Damon. But like, it literally, I was like, I got it. But the thing is, it's like, it makes sense because, but then again, at the end of the Vampire Diaries, they died, but then the timeline's all messed up, and it's like, what the heck is going on?
At the end of Vampire Diaries, that was them like jumping many.
Yeah.
I think that's just like showing y'all that late when they do die, you're gonna have that.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're dead, like they're alive.
Well, it was the best line, one of the best lines from Alaric this episode, where she's like, the last thing I want to do is get relationship advice from Damon.
Oh my God.
Laughed so hard at that line. But no, and then
dropped Elena and Damon. She called her Aunt Elena.
Yeah, I screamed when she said that.
Yeah, yes, looking up her ship. I'm like, oh.
And that was Elena's house, right?
Yeah, they rebuilt it.
Yeah, she lives there with Damon.
So it might be different like colored shirts. So,
Which fun fact about that is the house next door is Caroline's house in actual real life. Anyways, that's just a fun fact. That's my brain going places. But and then the fact that Josie mentioned a girl Just like when she talked about Penelope, she said this girl last year, and then she said a girl at the school, and I was like,
Oh, she's
my
talking
my
about
Fincy heart.
Oh, just, I was just still like high on the hand and stuff that the rest of it kind of glossed over me a little bit. But like, okay, but so that means that Nina's story we saw today means that she is coming on to Legacies.
At some point.
Which I am. Why do they gotta put her in the Catherine wig?
Well, but it doesn't have
Anyways.
to be a Catherine wig. Like it could just be Elena with hair like Catherine's.
They said that the wig at the end of the series of the Vampire Diaries was Catherine's wig. Where it looked terrible on her. Not saying that she looked terrible, but it didn't look right on her.
Wasn't like pieces of her real hair coming out? You don't like her hair is long enough for the scene. Like
Yeah, she has the real hair. She could just use her real hair. It looks fine.
Yeah, well.
But I guess that's like for styling issues and stuff like that, right?
I guess. I don't know.
you think we out here Damon show up too? Nah.
Doubt it. Doubtful. They probably won't have Ian there.
You think gonna show the kid?
Oh, I don't know. Are they gonna bring stuff?
We were asking about it, so maybe it's probably not. Probably gonna see Elena for 2 seconds.
Okay. And then the last part, it was with Dorian and Alaric, right?
Well, I was confused. Yeah. What the fuck?
So they're talking about the wish box, and they said that Einstein had it, and then what's the Russian guy or whatever? The
Napoleon, right? It's Napoleon.
Oh no, yeah, Napoleon, okay, the French guy. But then they also had Rasputin. They said Rasputin, and Rasputin, if you believe a lot of the myths. Okay, does anyone know like the Disney version of like Anastasia? Like okay, so there's this lost princess of Russia whose entire family was murdered, and they think that she got out and was hidden by certain people, so her name is Anastasia. In the Disney version, she was raised in an orphanage, and then she came back, and people have been trying to find the lost princess for years, and there's like this whole reward and stuff, and she ends up being the lost princess. But Rasputin in that is a sorcerer, like a sorcerer who lives for thousands and thousands, like he's an immortal sorcerer in this movie. Like in other ones, he's actually died. But he's known as like a healer and a sorcerer. But like, so the fact that they're kind of introducing Rasputin, who was a powerful sorcerer who had this box, this wish box, is really interesting, because with him and Napoleon and Einstein all having this what him and Napoleon have in common is they were both like leaders, and they both like overthrew things, right? So like, and I mean, they were evil, but if you think about it, like the way that they're setting up this wish box is actually really fucking cool. So what did Hope wishing on it and it opening up do?
Yes.
Especially if Rasputin had it last.
I love how this season has so many little secrets that we have to find out what is happening. It's not just Malivore. Like, we have to stop Malivore. Like, we have Malivore, but we have now this bone guy, and then we have this about the wish box.
Yeah. And Rasputin also could predict the future. So that would be really cool to like. I'm really excited where this season is going.
Danielle did say she was very excited.
And the fact that she said it was going to be like a 180, and I really think that means it's going to go darker. And like Rasputin and like the ferryman and all of that, like that is darker. Like you think about it, like the ferryman sails the river Styx, like he's like, you know, Hades' like boatman or whatever, and Hades is death, and then Rasputin, who is also basically kind of considered death, and then the necromancer being death, and like the Banshee next episode. So like literally this whole season is fucking death.
It's way better than season 2. So
I don't know, the mythology nerd in me is just like going like I'm just screaming inside. I'm sorry.
He is gonna love have this conversation with you.
Yeah, I know. I gotta have this conversation with Pia because we're gonna, yeah. So, anyways, I'm just really excited about the name drop of Rasputin because Anastasia is actually one of my favorite Disney movies, and it's not a very well known movie. Not a lot of people have actually seen it. But the whole like I love history, and that whole story about the lost princess and the whole the Romanov family is actually like one of my favorite stories of history. So I'm really, really excited to see where Brett and team are going to take this.
Yeah, really excited, really excited.
Okay. Promo for next week.
The Banshee.
The Banshee.
It's just very curious to see who is dying. Alaric is dying. Let's go. It better be him. I'm not taking anyone dying anymore.
Him, or if it's wounded, maybe better activate his Phoenix. That's it.
They can't kill him off again. They can't do that.
Landon, he's died so much. Like, let's give someone else.
Okay. I'm gonna I got envelopes. I'm gonna write a message, send it off to Georgia. Yeah, I'm gonna hand deliver it.
No more deaths.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to Megan, and Megan can deliver it to
We have this whole petition where Landon doesn't die anymore. Alaric's gonna die. It's gonna because it's funny because remember I said this whole season is about death, and the Sphinx actually saw Alaric's death. But what if he wasn't talking about that time of Alaric's death, but he was actually talking about the actual time of Alaric's death, because the Sphinx could tell the future, kind of like Rasputin.
Too much information.
Anyways, Alaric's gonna die, and we're gonna cheer, and it's all gonna be great. And I'm really super excited about a Banshee coming, because we did say that in one of our monster episodes, like a long time ago, where I think it was a Jackson's episode. Remember we talked about a Banshee?
I don't remember Jackson's episode because I wasn't really there, but
Yeah, we talked about a Banshee. I'm pretty sure we talked about a Banshee in Jackson's episode. So the fact that we're getting a Banshee, and she looks really cool, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. This episode surprised me, so I'm really hoping that next episode will surprise me too. And Thomas co-wrote next episode, didn't he? I think he did.
oh, it's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love Thomas's episode.
I mean, like,
205 was it?
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, a lot of season 2 was that. 205 served Hizzy though.
Yeah, it really did. Okay, so should we do our
MVP?
yes.
Go ahead.
Landon. Landon was my MVP this episode. He shined. He really showed that he doesn't need to be protected like people think he does, or that he's always being protected by somebody. He shows that he's obviously got the brains to figure out things. The nerd in him obviously helps, saved a lot of people. But yeah. My favorite scene. Oh gosh, I gotta go with the Handon scene at the end. That was probably my favorite. Their talk was just incredible. Everything that Landon said was just perfect. So yeah, that's it.
Me?
For me, my MVP is Landon.
Yeah.
I feel like this episode proved that Landon is extremely beautiful. I feel like this whole fandom sees Landon as someone who is not helpful at all. And for the fact that he knew how to destroy his gremlin and informing about it was very pleasing to my spirits. And after not seeing Landon for like a whole damn month, basically, this episode was definitely needed for the Handon stands and Landon stands, but once again, I feel like this episode strengthened Hope and Landon's relationship, and definitely let Landon know that he understands Hope, he understands everybody's point of view. He doesn't want, to cause problems between Hope and everybody else. So that was definitely an MVP moment. I mean, that's why he won MVP from me. My favorite scene was the one in there in the room when he was saying, like, there's enough Hope to share around. Because once again, it was a big topic of, like, Hope being obsessed with Landon. And Landon telling Hope, like, I'm saying, you love me, I love you. And obviously, you wouldn't change the thing to get me back. But once again, I did not want to call for time between friends. Like, there's enough for you to go around. And I feel like that was definitely needed. I feel like it was definitely needed. And for him to understand, it's just coming from, but also, like, leading her in a direction. Growth. I'm a power handing today, so.
Vit?
Oh, MVP is definitely Landon. Like, he was just perfect this episode. Reaching his cutest moments and he giving support to Hope is just, I loved him. And my favorite scene is the Handon scene in the end. Like, I was expecting that for so long. The development and the growth we have, and it was amazing. Yeah.
Okay. My MVP is Gumball. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's Landon. I mean, come on. This was such a Landon episode. How could it not be Landon? Like, Landon just deserves all the awards. And I do really love that end scene, but I'm going to go against you guys, and I'm going to say my favorite scene is Hope inviting Lizzie to their movie night, and they were going to watch Gremlins.
That was awesome.
And they hugged, and that whole, like, we can make popcorn, and just...
And then Lizzie's like, "Which movie?" And then he's like, "Of course, Landon."
Yeah, and just the way that they laughed over that and his geekiness, and oh my God, they're having a movie night.
A group one. We're gonna go.
And then Lizzie was like, "Landon is back, all right."
We're gonna go. Landon is besties.
Yes, and then the Bone Warrior showed up. But you know what? Let's just.
I don't give a fuck about that Bone Man.
No, we're just
in all together. Landon was the MVP of this episode.
That is the real Landon. He knew too much. He knew about the Minotaur. He knew about all of those other monsters. He knew about the past. He knew about that is Landon. That is the real Landon, and I will take no arguments against it.
That's my sign. The necklace will come back. Don't worry about it.
All right. Okay.
Don't forget that we still have our fanfic challenge on. It is due May 1st.
Exactly.
Prompt is thunderstorms. And tag the Handon Weekly, I guess we'll call it the May Challenge, Handon Weekly May Challenge.
It can be, yeah. Or just Handon Weekly Challenge.
Which, conveniently enough, the due date is actually the day before Hope's birthday. So if anyone wants to slide some Hope birthday stuff in there,
that as well.
Anyways,
that
was our 309.
Discussion and review. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Handon Weekly content. Our social medias will be linked in the description where you can find other platforms to stream the podcast as well as our actions, or to follow us on Twitter or Instagram. See y'all soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hold up.